Hello, my name is Bridget Smith, and I am one of the pre-K SPED coaches. And today we are going to be talking about pre-K strategies that work, how to build independence and fade prompts in young students. Our learning outcomes today are to give paraeducators proven tools to help students become more independent in the classroom. To do this, we are going to talk about the importance of task analysis and how to break down tasks into small, meaningful chunks. And in the next video or module, we're going to talk about the prompt hierarchy and how to systematically fade prompts for students. As we get started, I want you to think of a student who has gained some independence while you were working with them. What do you believe led to that student's independence? What specific things did you do to help them become more independent in the classroom? While we are not specifically talking about embedded instruction, we do want to pay attention to embedded instruction because that is where the most natural learning environment is for students. So this quote kind of embodies that by saying embedded instruction helps ensure young children's meaningful inclusion in the everyday activities, routines, and transitions, and provides situated learning opportunities for them. And so students are going to learn best in the environment in which they are going to need that information. So for example, if I am trying to teach a student to become more independent in washing their hands, I'm going to want to practice that strategy in the bathroom or next to a sink versus on the playground. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is task analysis. And task analysis is the breaking of larger skills down into smaller, more meaningful or manageable tasks. And it's basically like making a list of all the things that are involved in completing that specific task. And once we've broken those tasks down into more manageable steps, we want to teach students one step at a time. This ensures that they have success at the first step before we determine whether or not they're ready for the next step. The ultimate goal is for the child to do things independently. By breaking things down into manageable tasks, it also allows us to see where the student may have a breakdown. So if they are struggling with washing their hands, by breaking each task down, we can see, oh, they are struggling with the getting of the paper towel step, and therefore we can teach that step specifically, or they're struggling with the whole task and I need to teach the entire task again. So as the quote says, task analysis is like writing a recipe for a skill. Just as a chef needs to follow each step to create a dish, a student needs to learn each step of a task to complete it independently. When you have finished your kind of task analysis, you have two choices in terms of how to teach those skills. You can do what is called forwards chaining, where you start at the top of your list of things to teach and go step by step by step, or you can backwards chain that task. You can start at the end and work backwards. So if I were going to be forward chaining how to wash your hands, and my first step of that task is to walk to the bathroom, then I'm teaching the student to walk to the bathroom independently, and then I'm helping with the other steps, such as turning on the water, getting the soap, rubbing your hands together, rinsing off your hands, turning the water off, getting a paper towel, drying your hands, and throwing the paper towel away. Also, leaving the bathroom is another important part of that step. So, if I'm forward chaining, I start at the top and I teach going to the bathroom. And when the student is successfully getting themselves to the bathroom independently, and by that I mean walking to the bathroom, walking to the sink, then we go on to the next step and we're going to teach them how to turn the water on. And once they're successfully independently turning on the water, then we teach the next step. And we go like that over the course of the day, the week, whatever, however long it takes them to learn that task of washing their hands. Our next, if we were going to backwards chain washing your hands, then I would help with every step up until that last step. So that last step being throwing away the paper towel, I'm going to help them turn the water on, wash their hands, turn the water back off, and give them a paper towel. Once they've dried their hands, they throw it away independently. And we do that consistently until they have throwing the paper towel away consistently. Then they learn how to dry their hands and throw away the paper towel. Then they learn how to get the paper towel, dry their hands, and throw away the paper towel. Just FYI, if you're doing that in Jeffco, getting the paper towel is probably not the easiest step for a lot of our students. Those paper towel dispensers require some fine motor control, and you have to grip them just right to make them work. So now you are going to practice. When this video ends, you're going to take your resource from the resource library that's titled Eris Task Analysis, and you are going to break down the steps of one of these tasks. You can pick putting on your jacket or your coat, cleaning up your toys, sitting down for circle time, or getting your snack or your lunch. And you are going to break down all the steps that are involved with doing that task. As you're doing it, you can be thinking of a student you work with specifically and kind of where you would start that teaching with them. Would you start backwards chaining it? Would you start forwards chaining it? Where would you start when working with that student?